Hello everyone! How's it going? I just want to show the Cricuteers challenge that we're doing this month is a card with a tea bag attached. So it can be done in any way. This is just one idea and I wanted to show you how I did it. Now I did use my gypsy to weld two teapots together. I did them at the top so they welded together this way. And then, just to make it more interesting, I put a pocket in the front to put the tea bag in. And I'll put my greetings on it and do what I have to do. It doesn't have to be a teapot. It could be anything you want. It could be a pot of flowers. It could be use your Cricut machine in order to create a shape or just a card with images on it from your Cricut. But this is the one I came up with, and I'll probably make a few more different ones just because I won't send the exact same one. So I'll show you how I made it. First off, I cut out this shape. And this is done with the gypsy. And the top of the lid basically gets cut off because when you're welding something together, it will cut off this part and this part on the other side of it. And so I had to cut a separate piece that I'll show you in a second what that's for. But with this one, what I basically do is take my bone folder and from crease to crease, the little spot where it joins up on both of them, I just crease it and fold it over. Okay, so there's my teapot. Now you're probably wondering how the heck did she get a spot to put her tea bag in there because it's a crease and it's not open. Well, that's the trick. I used another image to put on top of this one. And this one, I actually took my tea bag, I put my tea bag on top of it, and then I drew around it so that I knew I had enough space for my pocket. And then with score tape, red line, as long as you stay outside of those pencil lines that you've drawn, it'll fit. One of the tricks to doing something that's quite thick, like a tea bag is quite thick, so you've got to give a little bit of give. So when I'm putting my pocket onto the front, the piece of paper that I'm attaching as my pocket, I put my tea bag in that space so that it actually gives you the give that you need. So I will show you what I did. And the best way I have found, it seemed to work for me, was I put a bit of removable adhesive and I just stick that tea bag there so it doesn't move around. I swear the more I clean up, the less I know where anything is. Where would my X-Acto knife be? Oh, come on. Really? Hold on one sec. Ta-da! Found it under a pile of paper. Now, I have no other way of getting this up with these silly fake nails on. I can't seem to grab the end of my tape. This works for me, and I'm going to keep doing it. Alright, so now, like I said, it doesn't quite fit exactly. I tried making it a little bit bigger, And that doesn't always work either, so this is the best way I've found to do it. And it does sometimes not fit around the edges as well. But that's the idea. You would probably glue all of this around the edges. I'll go back and do that afterwards. But what I'm going to do with this tea bag now is, see how I've got these two little pieces? Now the pattern paper has just been cut off of the top of this. Okay, that is part of that full image. But this one, if I can find my scrap paper, I took a scrap of just plain pink cardstock and I just took about 2 inches. I could have done 1.5 inches strip of paper. It's still going to cut out the entire teapot, but I really only need this part. And so it goes off the paper and it finishes cutting it out, but there's no way of disconnecting just that portion of the lid. So I've actually cut out the whole pink teapot, right? And then I took the piece that I cut off and I just traced around it so that I cut off the portion to match that lid. Sorry about that, cut off mid-sentence. I just hit it with my hand. Now, what I did was I traced this and just cut exactly the same shape as the piece that I took off the top. Okay, so what I do with this one is I used a little bit of tape, the adhesive for the one that really holds it well, and I put a couple of pop dots. There's my pop dots. So 2 pop dots. Because this, you want the top to stick together. You could use a staple, you could use anything you want, but basically just to give it some room to put this in. And then I just used my regular glue gun. Zipped across here a couple times. Basically, what we're going to do, how did I do this? I did it in the wrong order here, but that's okay. Because somebody is going to receive this. They're going to just rip the bag anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then the tea bag just goes back in here, right up to, maybe I'll put a little bit of glue on the sides too, but the idea is you then have your pocket with your tea bag inside. All right, so that's a quick little tutorial on how I put this together and had room for a tea bag. Like I said, you could pretty well do anything you liked. You could attach the tea bag, you don't have to get this fancy. You can attach the tea bag inside and just do a really cute little tea time type card. But it's just for fun, and what will happen is you will write in your card, this is actually the gift you're giving to your partner. So you will write in here and introduce yourself and get to know your partner and say hello. So welcome to the Cricuteers Hello Tea Bag Swap. Have a great day. Bye.